Hi guys, it's Ivan Trace, and today we are on NFP day. As you can see, Friday 10th. This is the first NFP of the year 2025. So far, the original trade which I took, they are two, at least they are two. So I took two trades today, and one was a break even. Pretty much on the GBPUSD. So I want to walk you through my thought process on how I took the GBPUSD and long and NAS100 short, and one was the GBPUSD trade was a break even, and the NAS100 was a winner. So let's go through them, share with you my thought process. So far, the overall trend on the GBPUSD was very bearish, but from the recent times we've seen some kind of several SMTs. You can see that we created the first one here with the previous week's low, but we broke and we blocked below the previous week's low, so this one was invalidated. And the second SMT was the SMT with the Wednesday's low this week. I mean, these SMTs were created with reference to Euro USD, obviously. So this one also was invalidated, but the most recent one was this one with the previous day's low, which was Thursday. So that was the first sign that we could be changing the state of delivery. Furthermore, the daily candle opened lower and started to push to the upside, and we were already below the we were in the discount of the previous day's range, so it was reasonable for expecting some upward momentum before the news came out. So I was expecting at least the price to reach the midpoint of the previous day's range, which is Thursday. This was on the 4-hour time frame. So on the 1-hour time frame, what I was looking for is how we were reacting off of the previous year's low, which is 2024. So we broke below it, but the price seemed a little bit ranging, and here there was a high right here, this high right here, which was created by the previous days on the Thursday. It was created inside of a CB, which eventually became the high of the day because there was overlapping with the 15-minute imbalance, which overlapped with the previous early days low, as you can see. So I was expecting some kind of return into the previous day's range to complete this market maker buy model, which was created right here in this SMT. So my confirmations for entry after I seen that, I was talking to myself because the Euro USD had already swept the Thursday's low right here. You can see it right here on this low. I was watching closely to see if which one of them could reach the previous day's high first. So because the GBPUSD made a higher high, a higher low instead of a lower low, which happened on the Euro USD, I was expecting it to at least reach this previous day's high first. So it is the one which reached there first, but it barely reached it because the price set it up. We were anticipating some news which made me worried when the price started to retrace to the downside right here. I had already set my stop loss to break even, which I got stopped out almost immediately after like 20 minutes right here with the open of the 4 a.m. candle, which I will show you later on. But my confirmations were just simple. They are the usual one. Let me bring back the price action. So I entered on the retest of this previous 15 minute BC, and here you can see that we opened with the first candle which we made. We opened and I waited for a sweep of the 30-minute cycle. If you can see closely, I entered when the last 30-minute cycle of 2 a.m. was swept on the British pound, and it was swept. Meanwhile, the price was retesting this 15-minute imbalance, which gave me further confirmation that we are indeed pumping higher. But when this candle flipped, I was no longer interested in holding the trade, so I set my stop loss to break even, which got stopped out right here before the price started to push higher. So yeah, that was what happened. So I got tagged in on this sweep right here. Price pushed it to the upside, started to reverse. I closed manually when the trade was right here, almost like there was no even one-to-one. So the price pushed higher. My buy side liquidity was the previous day's high, so I was expecting the price to reach at least that liquidity. Unfortunately, it did not reach it, even though I was already out of the trade, and the price reached premium before news came out and pushed it to the downside. So let me go through the next trade, which was NAS100, which was a continuation to the downside after the NFP release, and going through the top-down analysis. So when the news came out, I did not have a clear bias except the one that I wanted to see, a manipulation higher and continuation to the downside to clear out the previous month's low, which is December's low. Also, the previous week's low has not been cleared, even though the previous week's high was already swept. So I was anticipating this market maker sell model to be completed today on the news day, which eventually happened, even though I was not confident enough to let the whole trade run, which is a shame, but I caught part of it, and I'm honestly content with what I got. So I closed the trade maybe halfway right here, but I was anticipating it to reach this point at least, which is the previous week's low. I think previous week's low should be reached, as well as the December low. So we will see in the next week what the price will do, if we will continue to the downside, if we will range, I don't know. But yeah, my thought process was that I should see a manipulation higher and a continuation to the downside. After I was planning to trade after the news, and when it happened, I realized that the previous day's high was already swept both on US 100 and SPX 500. Or so my thought process was that the price could continue if the news did not manipulate to the consequent encroachment of at least the current higher time frame range, then indeed we will not reach there at all today. So when the price reached this daily CB, I knew that this market maker model should be complete, whatever the case is. So I dropped on the 15-minute time frame, as you can see, and I think it's the 1 hour because I marked the range of this breaker block right here, this whole candle. You can see that I marked the consequent encroachment. If the price could not at least pass above this 0.5, I was expecting an open high-low close to profit from to the downside to clear out the previous week's low. So that is what I did. This liquidity void right here was immense, so I could not trade easily from that when the price touched it just like that. So I drawn out the range of the 1 hour breaker candle to frame my bias from it, and my confirmations I dropped on the 1 hour time frame to see if there was any kind of change in state of delivery. Actually, I entered on the first presented imbalance after the news, and the only mistake I made is that I entered before any SMT got presented, and luckily I left some kind of breathing room because I knew that the first 30-minute cycle before the news could be swept on specifically NAS100, which ended up in NAS500, which ended up happening. Also, we were in the range of the previous day's low, so I was anticipating this range to be balanced for the price to continue to the downside to clear out this data low. That was my draw on liquidity for a lower time frame market maker model. Even though this higher time frame market maker model could unfold, I was not willing to hold until it ended. So when this SMT presented itself, I was already in the trade, my stop a little bit above right here, and yeah, the trade took a little while, ranged a little bit. I was anticipating at least this breaker to hold, but price filled this imbalance right here and swept this high right here, which had already filled the imbalance, and the price started to displace to the downside. So actually I exited when the price started to retrace to this CB right here, which was inside of this daily CB, because I was not sure if I could get stopped out before even this market maker was completed. So I decided to close it manually on this candle, I guess. And then you can see that the full model unfolded itself as I predicted. So I'm going to show my trades and then I'll be off. So the NAS100 one, you can see where I entered and where I exited. I was planning on exiting at least below this low, but I could not because that retracement was a little bit too deep, and I entered on this candle right here. The trade was entered on this, like it's like the psychological level, and stops above here, exited right here when I seen that the price was failing to close above these lows. And on on the GBPUSD trade, which was a break-even. My executions you can see the closed positions for today. On the GBPUSD, on the other account, you can see the trades which I took. The GBPUSD was almost a break-even, and only US100 was a winner, which won tremendously. This was from last 24 hours, meaning it was just a couple of hours ago. So I think that's it. So far everything is looking good. Yeah, so I think that's it for now, and I'll see you on Monday. Yeah, thanks for sticking to the end.